Mute yourself.
Sairam sir.
Salam Akarsha. Salam Tanuj. Good morning, Neha. Salam Devansh. Morning, Pranav. So we just wait for a minute as participants are joining.
Laptop do. Sorry.
You have to show it the homework.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll let Suman sir take that call. So just wait for another minute or so, Tanuj. Hi, Ashish.
Okay.
Hi, Advik. Welcome. Hi, Sumant.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Just have, I think, a couple more joining. From New Jersey, we have Neha, Pranav, with the other guys, Madhav, Yash.
Sure, ऋषभ. डोल बंद करो.
Sir, the teacher came.
Hello, shall we start?
Yeah, sure. We can start off. Yeah, we're giving the first thing to you. Suman, you can share your screen, please.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, welcome back to the series of lectures on IoT with Python. So, this is our fourth class, and in this class, we'll be exploring more on special output, specialized output or output formatting, and as well as be introducing a new topic called as functions. So the overview of uh, displaying data uh, is basically using the print statement. We can display strings, integers, floating point numbers, but we have seen that whatever we print on screen, it can, or we might want to format our print statement in such a way that maybe uh, say for example, if we consider any floating point number, um, if we try to print any floating point number directly, we might get a precision of 10. That is same. If I try to print any number with say 123.5678910, in this way, it will print uh, certain decimal points and certain floating points. But we might want to restrict uh, the number after our decimal point. Suppose, say, we want to restrict it to only two places. What if we want to insert commas into our number? What if we want to add a few spaces in front of whatever we are printing? So all these comes under formatting of our output. So let us try to explore more on how we format our output, and thereby we'll will will do some hands-on. Uh, yes, Yashwant, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Okay, fine, great. So let's get started. Let me- no, I did. Okay. So what did we do to print a string or print a sentence? We use the plain print statement, print, and then we have used a single quote or a double quote and whatever in this is inside this single quote or double quote will be printed. So this was one kind of expected behavior which we had. Okay, so this was one expected behavior we had seen in our last class. But here you could see that whatever is the statement that I write. Okay, so print hello, and I'll try to run this. So it has printed hello. Now let me try to add another print statement over here. Word. Now please tell me what would be the expected output. Will hello and world be printed side by side, or will it print hello first and then world next?
Hello will be printed on top of a world.
Yes, let's see. So it is printing hello first, and in the next line it is printing world. So let us see why this is happening. That is because due to the default behavior of my print statement, if I do not specify anything, it will mean that after printing that line, it will automatically go to the next line. But let us try to format our print statement or tweak our print statement by doing this. N is equal to n by space. Let's see what this gives us. You see, when I just add a simple expression over here, that is with n equal to, and inside my quotes, if I just give a space, instead of printing it in the next line, it has just given a space and printed world beside it. I can as well try this out. 1, 2, end with star. Let's see what happens. And then print 3. You see, 1 followed by a space, 2 followed by a star, 3, and the next line. So you can use this end statement to format the words that you would like to do a print. So I can as well do this if I do not want any space in between and I want them to be printed one after the other without any spaces. I can simply uh, remove the space and just give the quotes in this way. 1, 2, 3 without any spaces. Interesting behavior, right? So you can use this kind of behavior to model out your print statements or your output statements, so that uh, you might get cases wherein you do not want your output to be printed one line after the other. You might want to continue it in the same sentence itself. So this type of modeling is helpful in such cases. Let's move on. So we do have an item separator. So we did see that um, in our previous class that we had printed two or three more words, or two or three more strings, two or three more integers, floating point numbers, by simply separating them with commas. So here, if you simply separate them with commas, the expected behavior uh, is simply one word separated by a space. So let's see. 1, 2, save it, and run it. Okay, 1 followed by a space, and then 2. Similarly, I can I can do this as well. We have already seen this behavior in our previous example, and we can as well do this. I can separate them by a star, by a hash, by a comma. Let me try to separate them by a comma. You see, 1, 2. Now let's move on to our next type of output of formatting. This is the escape characters. So an escape character is a special character, and it is generally preceded by a backslash. Okay, yeah, that's better. So an escape character generally starts with a backslash, and it is generally a non-printable character. We have two types of characters. The first one is called as the printable character, and the second one is known as the non-printable character, or the escape character. We generally want to use these non-printable characters in formatting. Suppose, say, you want to print uh, two things, and you want to separate them by a new line. So we can use some of these non-printable characters to perform our formatting for us. So the first non-printable character that I'll be introducing you is the \n. Okay, so \n generally gives us uh, okay, so \n generally gives us a new line. For example, \n2 \n3. With this statement, the expected behavior is it will print 1, and in the next line it will print 2, and in the next line it will print 3. See, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now, why do we need such kind of escape characters? In general sense, this kind of escape characters are uh, like help us format uh, our paragraphs. It can help you to format your article uh, and something like that. Suppose say you want your paragraphs to start with a tab space, or you want to start your paragraph by leaving 5 spaces. Then what you do, you one thing that you can do is trying to do this, like gives 5 spaces. Let's see if this thing of giving 5 spaces will work or not. Yes, so this did uh, give us 5 spaces, but what if I have to repeat this thing multiple times? Well, can I just go on punching my space bar 5 times? Yes, I can do that, but that is very time taking. And what if I do not want to do that? I can use another escape character called as \t. \t stands for uh, a tab space. Okay, 1 followed by a tab space, 2 followed by a tab space. Okay, so I hope you got the concept of escape characters. Escape characters are generally non-printable characters which are generally used for formatting purposes.
Sir,
Yes,
can we use /t and /n in the same statement?
yes, you can.
Okay.
It's up to you on how you want to format your thing. Um, you can use it up.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So these are the different list of escape characters available in Python. We have seen \n. The effect it causes is it causes the output to be advanced to the next line. We have seen this in the form of an example. And \t causes an output to skip over to the next horizontal tab position. And there's another thing, \quote. So it causes a single quote mark to be printed. Now you might get a doubt on why do we need a quote. So in our previous class, we had seen that we could use a single quote or a double quote to do the printing for us. And when we had tried printing a single quote and starting our print statement with a single quote, it threw an error. It says EOF. And in order to remove this EOF, what did we do? We placed this in double quotes, right? So this did print the single quote for us, but you can also do this. You can use the escape character to print your single quote. Now, this is especially useful to us when we have multiple lines of code and we want to follow a standard notation at every print statement that we use. Suppose, say, I am accustomed to use a double quote in every of my print statement, and I want to use the same. And inside my print statement somewhere, I have to print a double quote as well. So it might throw an error in at that time, and I do not want to um, uh, go to that position, change my single quotes to the double quotes, or vice versa. So what I can do is I can simply replace it with a with an escape character and try to print. See, this will print me a double quote. And I can also do print a backslash by um, with a double backslash. Okay, let's move on. Now we have a concept called as displaying multiple items with a plus operator. Now we had seen earlier that uh, the plus operator is generally used in addition. Now addition in pure mathematical terms means adding two numbers. It can be adding two integers. It could be adding two floating point numbers. But we can use the plus operator for doing one more thing in Python, and that is for adding two strings. Strings are nothing but uh, characters for us. What we can do with the plus operator in Python is we can add up two strings uh, and get a new string. So let's see uh, how this thing is executed. So this is followed by a plus and one string. So it says this is one string. So this is how I can add two or three strings and get an output. So the concept of using the plus operator is called as string concatenation. Okay, you might want to remember this term called as string concatenation because going forward with multiple programming languages, this is the common thing that they use. So let's move on. Suppose, say, you want to print multiple statements, enter the amount of, and then followed by a backslash, and then sales for each day, and suppose, say, I have something like this. I have 3 different lines, and I separate it with a plus and a backslash. What will actually happen over here is it will print the 3 lines, or 3 different statements in a single line. Now, why we are discussing this is we had seen that if we do not do this, and simply do this, what actually is happening over here is that um, the same thing is being resulted over here, but you can use the plus operator to print longer statements or make it more readable. Here in this case, if you do not use a plus statement, then since it is just 3 lines of code over here, it is something that your eyes can catch it much easier. But if you happen to do it with multiple lines or longer statements, longer print statements, then it will be hard for you to know whether there are different print statements being used over here, or is it a single print statement. So that is with respect to the topic of displaying multiple items with the plus operator. Okay, so any doubts until here? Okay, let's proceed with the next set of discussion then. Now we will look on to formatting numbers. In our previous discussion, we had seen that there are 2 types of numbers possible in Python. The first one was the integer numbers, and the second one was uh, are floating point numbers. Now, floating point numbers have have some digits after the decimal point. Like here, I have a number called as 5000 and a decimal point, and the number 0 is beyond the decimal point, meaning that I have some value beyond my decimal point as well. Now I can do this. So say I have a number let me declare a variable 5000 and another variable monthly payment, and I declare it as amount due by 12. Okay, my monthly payment will be amount due by 12. Okay, so let me try to print my monthly statement, monthly payment. All right, so what is the number that I have got? 460 followed by 66666666. So now this might be looking a bit ugly for me, and I want to restrict whatever is beyond the floating point to just 2 points. Now, how do I do that? I can do that by uh, formatting my floating point number by using the keyword format. Format, and inside my format, I will be specifying the variable that I want to format and what I would like to format it as. Now, you can see that if I want only 2 decimal places after my only 2 decimal formatted to a precision of 2, what I do is I do this after my decimal. This dot will is representing my decimal. After my decimal, I want 2 places of my floating point number to be displayed. Now let us try to implement this same. Print, and inside my print statement, I'll have to use another uh, function or a keyword called as format, and here I will have to specify what is the type of format that I am expecting. So after my decimal point, that is why I have specified the dot. I would like 3 numbers to be displayed. That is, I want 416.666 to be displayed. And what are the 3 numbers? It should be my floating point number. Okay, sorry, I think I have, yeah, I did not complete my print statement, so that is why it went to the next line. So here you could see that it has formatted my print statement in such a way that it has rounded it off to 3 decimal points. Right. So I can do this as well. I can round it off to 1 decimal point. I can round it off to 2 decimal points. Now this is more neat and clean to understand than my long and ugly format of having a long numbers. It is especially useful when we have a really long number and we want our output statement to look tidy and more presentable. Now just remember that the keyword F here represents floating point numbers. Now you may get a doubt on how we can perform the formatting of numbers if they are integers. You will have to use the keyword D over here, but you cannot do the same kind of formatting as a floating point number. And
You have to,
yes,
you'll have to remove the decimal point, right?
yes, I will tell you on how
Yeah,
we
sorry.
enter the decimals. It is coming at the end of our lecture. So uh, uh, you cannot do the or you cannot do the exact same set of things that you will do to a floating point number with decimals, and I will discuss why that is happening, and what mathematically prevents us to have such kind of formatting. So we let us discuss a few other formatting formats of our floating point numbers itself. Now,
Hello,
yes,
hello, sir. Actually, I cannot see anything on the screen. It's just blank.
it's blank.
Yeah.
Is it the same case for all others as well?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I can
No,
see
sir,
your
we can
screen.
see. I can see your screen, sir.
Okay, let me try to stop my screen share and share it. Now, is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. So let's explore the formatting of numbers a bit more. Now we had seen that um, whatever number that we would like to print, suppose say 0.98. Let me take any long number and try to print it. Now you see that it has simply printed the number whatever I have asked it to print, but I I I might want a comma separation to make it more readable. Now I cannot have a number as big as a billion or a million and just print it out without having commas. It might create some confusion on what that number is, because since our human mind is more accustomed to the usage of commas to help us read the number more quickly, we might want to separate our big numbers with commas. So let us see on how we can do that. What we can do is we can simply insert the comma after the format function in the format function, so that it will let us know that we have to format our set of things with a comma. You see, it has separated our huge number with comma. Now I can add a floating point precision as well. Dot essentially means whatever is beyond my decimal point or beyond my dot. And what is the precision that I would like to give? 2. When I do this, my entire number is rounded off to this kind of formatting. So this is how you format your floating point numbers, to separate them with commas and uh, as well as separate them with or format the floating point precision format. So now um, let us take an example of uh, or perform this execute this simple program, and we can see or try to understand the concept of formatting our numbers in a better way. I would like all of you to try to create these 6 variables first. Num1 is equals to 127.899, num2, num3, num4, num5, and num6 on your computers respectively, and let me know when you're done. Okay, please do this thing with me. Num1 is equal to 127.899. It could be the numbers of your choice, not only these things. 3, 4, 5, 6.148, num3, num4, num5, okay. So let me take 5 different numbers. Are you done typing 5 different numbers and
Yes, sir.
assigning 5 different variables?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So now let us try to print.
Wait, just 1 second.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So now I am printing the 5 numbers, and I will check out my output. Now I have just printed my numbers as it is without any formatting. You could see that this is a bit hard to read and hard to understand on what kind of uh, like, is it a 3-digit number or a 4-digit number? Just by looking into it, I have to concentrate more on it in order for me to understand whether this is a 3-digit number or a two-digit number, because the arrangement of numbers over here uh, doesn't gel with my human way of thinking. So for this, what I can do is I can format my print statement in such a way that uh, it is more understandable for me. Okay, so what I will do is I will print my num1 with a specific format. Now we had seen that we had in our earlier examples we had only used dot 2, dot 3, and or, but we can place a number to the left hand side of a dot as well, and this number which is on the left hand side of a dot will specify something significant to us. It states that I want my number1 or my num1, num2, num3, and num4, num5 to be of uh, to occupy 7 uh, 7 spaces and print my output. Now what will this do is when I give 7 in all of the formats of my numbers, then my units place, my tens place, my hundreds place, my thousands place, my 10,000s place, all of them will be arranged in a single row, and in a single column, and this will make it more readable and make it more presentable for me. Okay, so I will simply copy this and replace it. Okay, format. Yes, and there you go. You see, with this, what's actually happening is, for my first 7 spaces, it is arranging my units place, my tens place, my hundreds place, and my thousands place in such a way that it is more uh, readable for me, and it has also uh, formatted uh, my floating point numbers to a 2-bit precision. So this is how you can do formatting of your floating point numbers and strings. So let us move on to the formatting of our floating point integers. Now, as I've said, you cannot use the same set of formatting rules as you do for your floating point numbers. You cannot specify precision for an integer, because an integer, it does not have any numbers beyond the decimal point. You cannot tell or limit your numbers. Suppose say you cannot limit your um, 5-digit number to just 3 digits. It will make the number lose its value. Now, when I what I mean by this statement is, suppose say um, I have a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6-digit number. Now, when I want to represent this 6-digit number with just 3 digits, and say I represent it as 1, 2, 3 or 4, 5, 6. What will it do? The number itself will get changed, and it will lose its significance. So that is one thing that we cannot do. So we cannot.
Sorry to interrupt,
Yes.
but that E is just for enter, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So in this way, we can format our integers, and one thing that you should remember is formatting integers is a bit different from formatting your floating point numbers. Okay, so you can try out these print statements and see for yourselves on how it is getting printed. So in the first print statement, I have my large number with uh, a formatting of D. D is essentially denoting my it's a type designator to represent integers. For representing floating point numbers, I used F. Here I use D. Now, in my second print statement, I have a comma and a D. Now, can you guess what would be the output of my second print statement over here?
It will remain the same.
Sir, will it show like 1, 2, 3, comma 4, 5, 6?
Yes, correct. it will show 1, 2, 3, comma 4, 5, 6. And my third print statement is format of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10D. Now, can you guess?
Sir, it will do like spaces. It'll add some spaces and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, correct. It will have some spaces. So since this is a 6-digit number, I'll have 4 spaces and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what will my fourth print statement do?
So
Sir,
it will have
spaces and 1, 2, 3, comma 4, 5, 6.
Yes, it will have 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, comma, and 4, 5, 6. So let us move on to our next topic called as introduction to functions. Functions is a pretty big topic. I will be introducing functions to you, what it what it will look like and what it is expected to do, and we'll try to explore more functions in our coming classes. So let's see what a function is. Now, a function is a group of statements that exist within a program for the purpose of performing a specific task. Now, can you state what a function is in basic English, or you might have used functions in mathematics. Now, what does that mean?
The functions are like instructions to do a task like.
Yeah, okay. So I can have different functions. Say I can have a function like a step function, which would mean that I can suppose say I in mathematics I say step of 2.3. Now what would that mean? It will mean to perform some action uh, upon my number and change that number to according to the function that it specifies. Suppose say ceil is a function in mathematics and it is used to round off my number to the next highest number. Suppose say I say ceil of 2.7. Now this function will result in a number of 3. It's okay if you do not understand the mathematical viewpoint of a function, but the coming set of slides will make it more easy for you to understand the function in a programming point of view. Now, this is how a function will look like. So suppose say I have tens of statements. Now by statement I mean different lines of codes. Say print is one statement, input is one statement, uh, and then I can have variable declaration as one statement. So, say I have hundreds of statements in this way, and what I would like to do is I would like to group a set of statements into a function. Like say, I want to take these 3 statements and group them together. The grouping of statements can be done with the help of a function in programming languages. Now, this function is a concept which is not only used in Python programming, but also in multiple programming languages like C, C++, Java, etc. So all you need to remember is how you can declare a function and the purpose of function. it is simply to divide your entire piece of code into different blocks. See, I have this this as my entire piece of code, and I would like to divide my entire piece of code into 4 blocks. I do it this way. I club my first 3 lines and I put it to a function 1. I take my next 3 lines and put it to function 2, and take my next 4 lines and put it to function 3. I next take my next 10 lines and put it to function 3 or function 4. So in this way, we can use um, divide and conquer to a large task. So what I'm doing is I am dividing my entire thing into simpler blocks, and I am conquering my code. So what are the benefits that I get is I can get simpler code. Now, when I have different lines of code written line by line, it will be difficult for me to understand what one piece of code is doing, or what functionality is getting started at what line, and what functionality is getting ended at what line. Suppose say I have variable declarations happening at my in my first 2 lines. I can group this variable declaration and define it in a function. Next, I have my input uh, uh, from my user happening in my next 3 lines. Suppose say I want the user to input 3 different numbers. What I do is I write 3 different lines of code, and I want them to be grouped into a different set of functions called as my input function. Now, when I do such kind of grouping, it will be simpler to read my code and understand it. I can also have the benefit of reusing my piece of code. Suppose say I'll have to take multiple inputs depending upon my operation. What I can do is I can declare functions, and I can simply recall these function for me to use it. Suppose say you have a formula, and you declare you state the formula only once in your answer, and use that formula multiple times, because you have already stated it at the beginning of your answer. You need not restate your formula over and over again in your answer. So that is that's a concept similar to your functions, and uh, in this way you can reuse the piece of code that you had written. It will also be better for testing your piece of code, whether it is behaving as expected or not. It will, and the development time that you take will be faster by doing this, because you will have a broader understanding of what your code is doing by dividing it in this way, and it will be easier for teamwork. Suppose say you are a team of 4 people, and you are working on a project, and each one of you can divide your work. Say I can divide I can form a team of 4 people, and I can divide my entire piece of code into 4 people and ask them to develop functions, and later on I can simply integrate my piece of code. Okay, so defining and calling a function. Uh, in order to define a function, you use the keyword def, and followed by the function name and and braces and a colon. So this is how you actually define a function. And then this first line is called as the function declaration part, and the whatever is followed by the followed after the keyword def is known as the function name. And this function name has similar set of rules as naming your variable. Now in our last class we had seen that naming a variable is done in such a way that the number, it should not start with a number, it should not start it cannot contain spaces, it should be through like it can be A through Z or A to capital A to capital Z. It can also contain an underscore. So the same naming standards of a variable will apply to a function. And let us just discuss this one code, and we'll call it a day. So this is how an actual function will look like. DEF, which will mean that I am defining my function followed by my function name, braces, and a colon. And when I hit an enter, I will get 5 spaces, followed after which I'll have to start my different statement. So this will be my statement 1, this will be my statement 2, this is a comment, and followed by my function call. So when I do this, it will call this function. So the flow of execution will be, it will directly go to this particular point, and it will call this function message. It will print these statements and come back to this statement. So let us try to do this. See, I have a message called as I am Arthur, and I do print this message. See, it has printed I am Arthur. So now, but you might get a doubt. Since I have written this piece of code before my this thing, is this thing getting executed first or this thing is getting executed first? Now you will understand this better when I define another function, hello print hello. Now what do you think will be the output of this particular program? Any answers?
I'm Arthur.
So you'd say that only I am Arthur will be printed and not hello. And why is that?
Yeah. Because you didn't add a hello and then
Yes.
the brackets thing, right?
Yes, yes. So let's first see the execution. It just printed I am Arthur because I did not call my function hello.
Yeah.
Now, if I call my function hello after I am Arthur, then what will be printed first? Since hello,
Hello, I am Arthur.
Since hello comes before this message, will hello I am Arthur will be printed, or I am Arthur hello will
I
be,
am author. Hello, sir.
okay?
Hello, I'm author. I am author. Hello.
It will print I am Arthur and then hello, but not
Hello.
hello I am Arthur. That is because
Hello is
whatever,
after message.
yes, whatever function you call first will be executed first, and not which is declared first. So that is one thing that you need to know about functions. And it might be a bit confusing at this point, but if you keep on practicing this a bit more, and probably by the next class you will be understanding the concept of functions much better. I think this is pretty clear for you, and most based on the answers that I'm getting, I think uh, you are getting the concept of functions. But if you do not, as it's okay, I will help you out with um, the concept of functions. Now, there is one important thing that you need to know while declaring functions, is that the concept of indentation. Now, you can see that I have a tab space or 5 spaces uh, after my function definition. Now, it is compulsory that you follow this spacing rule. If not, there will be an error. For example, I say I want inside my function hello, I have another print statement, world, and say I do it this way. I do not follow my spacing properly or exactly. What do you think will be the? It says
Indentation error.
yes, an indent does not match any level of outer indentation level. So you need to take care of the indentation, because this is how Python identifies that um, these two functions are different and the statements are different. But you at this point you need not worry much about this indentation, because your IDE will practically take care of this thing will for you. But just remember that you might get such an error if you do not follow the spaces. I will as well show this to you on how we can remove this error in our coming classes. I think we are already out of time. I will discuss the next function in our next class, and I have a couple of questions for you as homework. These are simple things, simple questions. You can read them, and you can just submit this homework to me before our next class. So the first question, uh, I expect you to calculate the miles per gallon. You can read out the question. I have given you the formula for it on how to do it, and I want you to format the result in this way. The second one is uh, temperature calculation from or conversion from uh,
Sir,
degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yes.
sir, the second question, I have already did it. I have it in my laptop.
Yes. Okay. Fine. You can send it to me.
Okay, sir.
But I have changed the question over here, and I'm not expecting a straightforward answer. I want you to convert your answer to a floating point number with a precision of 3.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can change your existing piece of code to suit this question and send it to me.
So actually in my code I have did it like if we enter at the let's say, temperature, then it will convert both like Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius. If we take if we take 32 as Celsius, it will convert it into Fahrenheit. If we take it as Fahrenheit, it will convert it into Celsius. I did it like that, both
Yes.
at once.
Okay, fine. You can edit that question to this precision of 3, and you can send it to me. I'll have a look.
Okay, sir.
I'm sharing this PPT to
And
you guys. You can refer that.
he appeared in front of him over drama. Anna, in the drama, he shows us what is it that would please the Lord the most. What would the Lord like us to offer? Bhakti Megam. Bhagavan should ask.
Okay. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
one
Thank you, sir.
request we have before you go. I think Saturday and going beyond, just log in 5 minutes early, guys. That'll be helpful for all of us, right? Thank you so much. Suman, thank you, all of you guys. Let's meet on Saturday night.
Sairam, sir.
Sairam.
Sairam, sir.
Sairam, sir.
Salam, sir.
Sirams.
Sairam.